You know that moment where you finally see it? Where all the hard work, all the doubts, all the stress, all the waiting, all of it just suddenly comes together. This fog starts to lift. We get a glimpse of the path ahead. We get clarity. Today will feel like a door opening for us. And for the first time in a long time, we will be able to see what is on the other side. We've been building towards this. And we're standing at the edge of this brand new chapter of our lives. It's not about waiting for the right time. The moment's here. And now the universe begins to hand us the clarity we have been seeking, to push us towards some bold actions, some new possibilities. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Clear direction emerges. So are we ready? Are we ready to walk through the door? Are we ready to own it? To claim our next steps with a sense of confidence? So join me as we embark on a journey of self-discovery, and we'll gain an understanding of how to embrace this energy. By the end of our time together, it's my hope that you now have the tools, the insight, the wisdom to go forward with confidence, with love, with strength, with clarity. So hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the positive, loving support you send me each and every day. You guys absolutely rock. Thank you so much for all of your great support, all of your love, all of your healing energy. Look at me. I'm almost brand new again. There'll be a little bit more mending, though. A little bit more mending, okay? Yeah. So thank you for standing by me and waiting for me. And I am on the road of recovery. We'll just take it one day at a time, one breath at a time. We'll see where it leads. Welcome to your daily focus, April the 7th, 2025. Okay, so the 7 energy. We have the energy of the 7 energy. That is about creating a balance or a harmony, love within our environments, definitely within our relationships, growing our relationships deeper and stronger. The daily numerology would be a 4 plus a 7 plus a 9. That would give us a 20 energy. Right? Is it 20? 16? Yeah, 20. And that's turning points. That's maybe making a new decision on how to go forward. Of blending two paths together or taking a unique path all on its own. We surrender to the possibilities of what may lay in wait for us. 2 plus 0 is a 2. Now the 2 energy is a magical energy, and so know that magic does surround you whenever a 2 energy appears. But more importantly, the 2 energy is about your magic within. What you are already gifted with, your natural tools, your abilities, your talents, your unique self, what you bring to the table. And understanding that magic that you already own and giving yourself permission to use it going forward. Sun is in Aries, our moon is in Leo. Okay, so it has been a minute since we've talked, right? And yes, I am on the mend. So a big thank you. A big thank you to each and every one of you. Now, there was a lot of background energy that is still very much in play, okay? In fact, some of these energies are reaching a higher octave in the intensity of the dance that has been happening on our behalf. So let's just walk into this energy of where we are now. But, so we had our new moon solar eclipse on March the 29th. So do I need to point out that it was an 11 energy day as well? And we won't see another solar eclipse or lunar eclipse in Aries. I think it's third 2032. Okay, so a solar eclipse in Aries is this dynamic, independent energy, ready to go forward, ready to break through glass ceilings, to push past obstacles, to not allow fear to stand in our way, to grow and to strengthen and to conquer and to have successes in our life, and for our horizons to grow wider and longer and deeper and more imaginative as we go forward. So this is the kind of energy that we want to embrace, because we will not have another time until 2032 when we will have this energy to embrace again. Do we want to wait that long to be that independent, to step into that new pathway? Okay, I'm going down a rabbit hole. You say, yeah, I am. Let's move on from that, right? Yeah, but it's about believing in ourselves, our dreams, and our capability, believing in our capability of going forward, going beyond the mundane, stepping into sheer bliss. And I promise you, you will find that sheer bliss under this kind of energy. As long as you are being truthful to yourself, my goodness, living in your authenticity. Now, a day after the solar eclipse, we found ourselves witnessing something that has not happened in 165 years. Neptune has come full circle, leaving one of the most intense points in the astrological chart. 29 degrees of Pisces, the final degree of the zodiac, and entering another of the most intense points in the astrological chart. 1 degrees of Aries, the first degree of the zodiac. And I mean, we could just jump into this energy and discuss the death and rebirth that each one of us will experience in very unique ways. Okay, it really is, in a sense, marking a beginning of a whole new world for us to step into, our at least one in one area of our path. But I find it highly unlikely that we will only be affected in one small area of our life under this kind of energy. That it will happen in several different areas of our life. And yeah, we shouldn't go down that rabbit hole today. There are some things I do want to explore a bit more, because for a while we have been focused so much on everything else that Mars and Jupiter have been kind of busy in the background preparing their way onto the stage as well. And then there's Eris. Now, I know little to nothing about Eris, I'll be honest, okay? But I do plan on jumping down that rabbit hole, because I believe that that planet holds a significant role in our new beginnings, in our transformations, in where we are stepping and how we are stepping, and how we need to step and how we need to embrace this energy. And I think not knowing about Eris will kind of leave us handicapped. I do not want to leave you handicapped. So I'm going to jump down that rabbit hole. Hopefully it's on the to-do list already. And, you know, it's going to join the dance if it hasn't already joined the dance. Yeah, the dance. What is this dance I repeatedly refer to as? It's the only way you can talk about the ebb and flow of this beautiful energy that is surrounding us. Okay, that's the background energy. That is actually where we need to focus today. Okay, so let's recap a little bit. Mercury met Venus in the sky in Aries. Okay, Venus was already in retrograde motion, but within a few days, Mercury too decided to join the retrograde party. And both planets, one at a time, first Venus and then Mercury to follow, crossed over back into Pisces, meeting Neptune at 29 degrees, having a conversation that will not be had ever again. So what did you take away from that conversation is so vitally important to some of the things that you will be going forward into. But do not worry, because whatever you said, even if you think it's infinite and it's definite and that there's no redo and this is the way it is going forward, I beg to differ with you, because yes, Neptune will be going back into Pisces for a short time, then working its way back through to finally come to rest in 2026 in Aries. So, talk about exciting energy. So, we do have time to go back. We do have time to learn from these experiences. But we're not going to learn from these experiences unless we take the time to think about what was I doing? Where was my focus? Where was my energy? Where was my attention? Where should it have been? Okay, so I mean, this has been going on over the last month, right? Venus and Mercury both stayed conjunct, and while they moved backward through Pisces, now today, here we are, fast forward, where I said this dance continues until what? Until Mercury goes stationary direct. And, I'm just going to throw it out there, 26 degrees. It's about growing our prosperity. Absolutely. While it conjuncts the North Node, okay, and while that is happening, Venus is conjunct Saturn. And it's like, and they're all at like 26 degrees and 25 degrees. So it's really only one big, huge conjunction between four planets. And then now Mercury will start to move forward, but the other three planets, they stay. Okay, so what is it? The North Node, Venus, and Saturn. They stay together in a conjunction until the end of April. So this dance continues. I mean, the moments we are experiencing right now is so we couldn't have seen it. We couldn't have foretold it. Okay, it's not a small matter. Okay, it's huge. Mercury stationary direct at 26 degrees of Pisces in a conjunction with the North Node. Venus and Saturn also there in a conjunction at 25 degrees. Okay, this sets the tone for lasting shifts that will continue to evolve over the coming weeks and months. It's a rare alignment of four planets coming together, and they're only supposed to be conjunct for like, 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 days, but not 4 weeks. So we know when this is happening, it's not just a small shift, it's a major shift. There is so much more information coming in because of what we were experiencing. And this rare alignment is here for our acceleration, for our evolution. Okay? It wants to push us forward into unfamiliar territory. It wants to push us forward into new beginnings. It's all about setting the foundation for something completely new. And so that's why we have to pay attention. That is why we have to take action. That is why we have to prepare for the road ahead. Because today is profound, it's potent, it's rich with possibilities. And we've been feeling this energy churning, right? For months. So now Mercury starts to turn direct. And I think five days or so, Venus will move direct. We will have, gentlemen, start your engines kind of energy. And we will have the clarity, or we will begin to receive the clarity to move forward with the strength, with a sense of knowing. Okay, the path ahead is going to be anything but ordinary, okay? This is big energy. This has great forward momentum. And we have that guiding influence of the North Node, for goodness sakes. Okay? That is always leading us towards our higher path. Whether or not we say yes to it, that's up to us. But it always leads us towards those paths of greater self, a higher path, an elevated path. And yes, Venus is still in retrograde, so we are being encouraged still to reconsider what we truly value, what we put value on, what we think is important. And Saturn is there and being our best friend right now, demanding that we ground ourselves in what's real and what's practical. Will that work? Will that work? Will that work? Venus is thinking about all the things we love and have a passion for and ambition for. And Saturn is going, okay, how do we make it work? Okay, as soon as you go into fantasy land, we got to stop because we have to be practical here in order to make it long lasting, in order for it to actually become something real in our lives going forward. So, a new chapter, okay, and we get to write it for ourselves, okay, but we need balance. And so, we need to lean into that Venus Saturn conjunction. Mercury going, stationary direct kind of blows me away with the North Node because, this is where we get clarity of our future. To be able to once again articulate our desires, to align our mind and our thoughts and our visions with what is meant to be. And our thoughts may be turning to wanting to do something and have action behind this, but I think it's more probable that we're still sorting, that we're still growing awareness, that we're still growing clarity. So yes, I know we want to rush forward, but we shouldn't rush forward, okay? We do need to start to prepare for big changes, absolutely, to be able to go with the flow, to be able to be flexible. Okay, this energy is definitely ripe for forward momentum. But Saturn's in there saying, okay, patience, realistic planning, that's what's really going to get us there. So we are loud and clear receiving all those dreams, those wants, those desires. Keep dreaming it big. And the more information you give us, the more that we can sort it out into something that is a rational plan going forward, something that we can work with, something that we can get our teeth sunk into. Okay? Our moves forward, yes, they need to be intentional about how we move forward. But I think we're getting these glimpses of clarity now that help us to see ahead so we can prepare a little bit purer, we can prepare well. We can be organized. So it's about aligning our future and understanding that we are being guided towards something greater, a greater growth, greater patience, and trust that the actions you are taking today are setting the stage for tomorrow's greatest transformations in your life going forward. Okay, let's turn to the cards. I think I'm out of energy already. Oh my goodness. But I had so much to say, right? Horrible cough, I know. It's so much better than it was. So, and I'm giving her everything she's got, Scotty. Our captain. I'm giving her everything she's got, Captain. So it doesn't hold a chance against me. And of course, with all your prayers and your love, should just be waving that red flag now or that white flag. Look at this. We have the hangman. The hangman is about being in the moment, not getting too far ahead of ourselves, but not too far in the background either, looking backwards, getting hung up on things. This is being in the moment, embracing life's little laughters and joys, to not allow the background stresses in our life take over and take away all happiness and joy. This is a time to look at where we may hold controls. And do we need to hold those controls? Does that need to be our job? Could it be somebody else's so that we could look more towards growing our path forward with the strength? This is a time when clarity comes in, but if we don't sit in stillness and contemplate some of the things that have been happening, then we may miss them altogether. Six of Wands says that You don't need to look far in your past to know that you are a remarkable person with great talents and abilities. That you've shown them off 1,001 times without even trying. Forget the thousands of times that you shine. You shine just by being you. It's when you try and change yourself to mold into somebody else's image of what I mean. Authenticity is very strong right now. When we are not being authentic with ourselves, when we are not being real with ourselves, it almost feels like we've got this neon light, beaming out from us, like, look at me, I'm not real. This card tells me that if we have those moments, those where we have self-doubt about who we are or where we can go, that we don't have to look very far into our past in order to embrace those talents, those abilities, that unique self that we alone own, that takes us forward. This is not a time to rest on your laurels. This is a time to go towards great successes, to get excited about the next step and beyond, to be ready for the fight, but to I hear something about gallivanting, and to not be, we're not being swayed off our path, but more of a relaxed of, what does this teach me and what does this mean, and not jumping over opportunities for the sake of getting to the end line, the end goal. To enjoy the journey, because there's more to learn within the journey right now than the journey itself. Three of Swords. Healing. Belief in ourselves. Erasing old self-doubt, stories, old narratives of who we were. So long as you repeat that narrative, you can never move past that narrative. It's seeing who you are today and using that narrative, and to evolve that narrative each and every day in some way. To sit with yourself and say, this is who I am. This is whom I'm becoming. These are a couple of things that I am putting into place in order to grow in to the person that I want to be going forward. Maybe loving towards myself, or loving towards humanity, or team building in some way, or growing something together as a community in some way, or as a family in some way, to have all those little goals and make them matter. That's I really get this is allowing your light to come in, to forgive yourself where you didn't allow yourself to be authentic before, to realize that you can step into that opportunity. I think I'm going to cough, so I'm just going to hang on. Okay, that was it, and I do have the card laying down here, so I think we're over. Oh, and look at this, the Seven of Wands. So, Six of Wands, Seven of Wands. In between the Six and Seven of Wands, we have the Three of Swords. So it's the successes that we have come through and our accomplishments of our tomorrows. And are standing almost, this is us standing on the top of the mountain. We're talking to the people in our lives. We're announcing of how we want to go forward, of who we want to become, of what we want to step into, of what we want to create, of what we want to give birth to. And in between those two cards is the Three of Swords. Telling me that in order for you to, actually it'd be this way, right? I've got it backwards. Right? This is the first card. And then second card and third card. Oh my gosh, okay? So it's realizing our successes, but it's allowing ourselves to heal. Okay, maybe we feel that, we got that success because we were nasty or we were overbearing or, oh, maybe you did. Maybe you did get it in those ways. But what are you doing about that today? Is that the person that you want to be going forward? Do you want to be even more overbearing? Are we going to work on those traits? Are we going to be a more compassionate, empathetic person leading the way for others? How would that look? Or maybe we need to be more of the strategic person or the strategic mind in getting everyone to work together. And how does that look? And how can I play? It's understanding our gifts and our talents of how we've gotten to this point, our accomplishments. And where, for some reason, and it's particularly there for women, that if it was a man saying it, then they were being authoritative, and if a woman was saying it, they were bitchy. And a lot of those stereotypical things do remain very true. So, you can't maybe change the world on that. We all can't be the Rosa Parks that we want to be, our inner Rosa Parks, and letting, that kind of an amazing woman. I mean, look at her astrology chart alone. Oh my goodness. Anyways, it's about saying I'm allowed to be authentic. I'm allowed to be real. I'm allowed to feel that way. And whatever label they put on me is the label they're using. Because they have ignorance, because they don't have the education, or they don't have the thought process to see the world as you do. But to embrace your authenticity, to embrace your empowerment, to stand up for who you are, to understand your capabilities and how you can use those capabilities to forward yourself, to push yourself forward. I mean, that's what these cards are saying. Okay. Here I'm trying to do a short video because I'm not feeling up to par, but I did miss talking to you. I loved rereading and rereading and rereading your messages. Okay. We have new experiences and possibilities, the 18 energy. The 18 energy is being led from our heart center, right to the divine, right to our higher selves, right to our highest path. New experiences, new possibilities. I mean, that is all around us right now. And there's a fire energy to it all. Did we even talk about the fire energy around it all? There's just so much to say. There's layers upon layers upon layers of, I think, some of the astrologers, and you hear them like, oh, and we could talk about this, and oh, we didn't even talk about this over here, and it's just, it's like layer after layer of all this intense energy, but in a perfect dance, in a harmonious dance for us. Okay. Look around in nature. Notice the new beginnings, new experiences, and new choices being shown to you. They will only be evident to you, and only if you take the time to look for these messages. You're on the first steps of a new path. You're being offered a blank page. So start to think of the first words you want to write on it. Your possibilities are endless. You are in complete control of your life right now. This is a new beginning on your journey. So live in the present, trust in your own abilities, plant your seeds, and willingly venture into new territories. Yeah, plant those seeds. Let's get an animal card, and then I'm going to give it a fast upload, so I might not really do the timestamps or anything. I want to get it up to you and get myself into bed. I find about 18 hours sleep is just about what I need right now. Look at that. Take a chance. Take a chance on you, your capabilities. Highlighted again, your capabilities. Take a chance on you. Okay, we'll go to the sea star here. Am I going to cough? I don't think so. I'll get some tea here. And sea star. Freedom, chance, fear, passion. Life itself cannot give you joy unless you really will it. Life gives you time and space, and it's up to you to fill it. We've chosen Sea Star, and it's time for us to take a chance, a leap of faith. You've been lacking in energy and motivation. It could be out of fear, or it could be that you are caught up with a bit of laziness, and you've beached yourself. It can be kind of scary to change, and although you may feel stuck, you're never truly stuck. You have free will to change the course of where you are and where you want your life to go. Free yourself from the past and allow yourself to feel again. You might be stuck in a dead-end job, so look for one in a different field that feeds your passion. You might be eyeing the cute girl at the coffee shop or looking at the cute boy who just changed your oil. Ask him or her out. Then you can begin to take a chance on one thing, and you'll find it easier and easier to continue doing that in every part of your life, which will only draw you closer and closer to your ultimate success. And you just won't know unless you take a chance. So I mean, this is a time of opportunity for us, unlimited potential of where we can step, unlimited possibilities of where we can dare to dream, to envision our tomorrows, to manifest new things in our life. And it all starts with the belief of who you are and being able to take a chance on yourself. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.